करूँ।
Welcome A3CA. Object of this experiment is to verify the forces in the members of the truss and at the same time to verify the deflections at the lower joints. So this experiment is divided in two parts. First part is to verify the forces in the members and the second part is to verify the deflections. So this is a perfect truss. What do you mean by perfect? Perfect means minus 2j plus 3 is equal to 0. If this value is 0, then you call it a perfect truss. Internally it is perfect. Externally there is no problem. Joints are supports are there. They are not more than 3 reactions, 2 at the upper end and 1 at the lower end. So internally it is perfect. If it is less than 0, minus 2j plus 3, then it is a mechanism. Otherwise, for greater than 1, greater than 0, it is imperfect truss, or you can call it a redundant truss. This one is a perfect truss, and for your knowledge, this member is not here, this is missing, and this is because these two parts are not moving. They are not moving, that is why there is no deflection in the member. This member is not going to deflect, will not carry any force. So that is why members has been eliminated. Otherwise, members have to be 7 in number, they are 6 in number. Even then this is a perfect truss. So the area of cross section of the members is 240 mm square, and for keeping symmetry, these members they have been divided in two parts, and spacers have been put in between so as to keep the symmetry. They may deflect symmetrically. This member is a thicker member. Thickness of the member has been increased to 10 mm, and this is 240 mm. So what is going to be done is we are not going to verify the members in the truss, because the attachment which is used to find out automatically the forces is out of order, is not working. So we shall complete the second part. Second part is we shall apply loads here at this joint. So this is upper joint here, this is U0, this is U1, this is L0, L1 and L2. This way we have named these joints. We shall apply load at L1, L2. This L2 will be loaded, and at the same time we shall find out what are the deflections under these joints. So two gauges are there, they are reading these deflections in millimeter. So these deflections will be read. E value of this material is given. It is perspex. It is 2500 MPa. E value is given. Area of cross section is given, and the length of the member horizontally is 400 mm, and this is also 400 mm. This is 45 degrees, so this member is found out 400 under root 2 mm is the length of the member. So length of the member are given, area of cross sections are given, E value is also given. You can find out theoretically, if you apply a load here, what are the forces in the members, either by the method of sections or by the method of joints. You can find out very well. Once you find out forces, you can find out forces in the members because of unit load at L2. So whatever forces you are getting for 10 Newton, you divide them by 10, you will get forces in the members for 1 in Newton, and you will find out what is the deflection. Deflection is PUL upon AE, summation of all the forces, all the members. So P is the force in members because of the load at L2. U is the force in the members because of unit load at L2. L is the length of the member, A is the area of cross section, and E is the Young's modulus of elasticity of the member. So you can find out the deflection theoretically, and practically from here you are getting deflection. So both of these will be compared, and you will find out what is the difference and why is this difference. We shall discuss in the results. So second thing what shall we do is we have to verify this deflection also, which is at L1, and there is no load acting here. So what is to be done? You have to apply a unit load, pseudo unit load here, and you have to find out what are the forces in the members. What are the forces in the members because of load here at L2. So those forces are P forces, and again you are finding out U forces because of unit load acting in the direction of the deflection. Deflection is downward. You may find out deflection horizontal also, then you will have to apply a force in horizontal direction. Or at any other joint, suppose you like to find out vertical deflection here, you will have to apply a unit horizontal vertically downward load here at this point. If you like to find out what is the horizontal displacement of this joint U1, you will have to apply a horizontal force in this direction. So the direction is given to you. You will find out the deflection. If it is coming out negative, means deflection is to the other side of the applied force. So you will find out here at this point what is the theoretical deflection by the same formulation, PUL upon AE, summation of all the forces. So you are getting two deflections. One is theoretical deflection you are getting by the formula, and another is practical deflection you are getting from this dial gauge. So both the deflections are to be compared. Forces, we are sorry, they are not comparable because our device is not working properly. So this is all about the experiment. We will have to discuss your results. Why are you getting lower values or higher values? Will depend upon what did you do to keep friction off from here, to minimize the friction. What did you do, and were you reading the dial gauges correctly? Were they friction free? So all these things are to be discussed. Otherwise, theory and practical should be the same if ideal conditions exist. Okay.